yes.
Student of Sushmita.
Student of life.
Prasad, like, are you student or working professional?
Yeah, working professional. I am a PPC engineer as Cyrus Industrial Solution Private Limited.
So, in which
Okay.
company?
PPC engineer, PPC engineer.
समझ नहीं आया मुझे.
Network problem. As a working professional, sir. As a PPC engineer.
Okay, as a PPC engineer. Okay, ठीक है, ठीक है.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Great. So before we get
Yes.
started, let's start with the most important question. Why are you guys here? Why do you want to improve your English? Because we can see that you're speaking really well. So why do you guys think that you want to improve your English? Saurabh, you can start with this question.
Okay, so
Mainly to
like if
understand what
I
are the
Yes, sir.
difficulties that you're facing. Yeah.
okay, sure. So right now, so like I'm giving many kind of interviews, like my UX design interviews and the product design interviews. So somewhat I'm feeling that my like voice tone might be a reason, and my expressions can be a reason, might be a reason. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and there might be certain other reasons as well. So I might not be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So prove that, and of course along with that, and so even though on the like day-to-day basis I learn new words as well, but certainly when there's a time to use them,
Mm-hmm.
so I forget,
Hmm.
and I'm just like कौन सा word था वो. So
Right.
there is a sound of cricket in the background.
Right.
so
Correct. So
so
memes will
so
sometimes.
it always happens.
Hmm. Okay.
And along with that, like I want to express myself confidently, and I want to put my thoughts, what it is inside, so that I can communicate clearly my thoughts, my expressions.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is that, and along with that, like business communication, like
Okay.
sometimes like I'm very careful about that in my offices,
Mm-hmm.
that I should communicate professionally. Okay, but certainly if I can improve it, then it would be a cherry on top. That's it.
Okay. Great. What about you, Prasad?
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday I told you about my communication. So I want to improve my communication in business professional also. Yes, in my office, in my mind are many thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't express it in my front of manager. So I want to improve my communication. That's better way. Uh, Learning a new things, express my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts in front of any person, like a
Mm-hmm.
business person, any outside customer, a vendor, uh, and getting some problem to communicate them.
Okay.
So, okay.
Okay. That's it?
Yes, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Don't worry. I'll be guiding you with all those things. But when we talk about vocabulary, Saurabh, I wanted to highlight this. See, whenever we learn vocabulary, when we are going to see, it's important that we learn those words with the context. Okay, because say one word is going to be used in 10 different scenarios or 10 different situations, but with every situation, the meaning of that word changes. Okay,
Mhm.
for example, I can say I have put down my papers. अभी यहाँ पर put का meaning अलग है,
True.
correct? अलग जगह पे हम यूज करेंगे I have put the plate on the table. Correct? यहाँ पर
Yeah.
meaning अलग हो जाएगा. So it's important that whenever we look at these kind of words, we understand them with the context in which it is being used. Okay? That is the reason it becomes important that we try to understand कि ओके context में हम कैसे उसको use कर रहे हैं और वो कैसे V2, V3 फॉर्म में change भी हो रहा है हमारा. correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because some words we use, but they don't fit with the context. Okay, फॉर एग्जाम्पल
Mm-hmm.
हम बहुत बार बोल देते हैं बहुत जगह पे हम रिमूव करके ये वर्ड यूज कर लेते हैं बट वो रिमूव वर्ड वहां पर यूज नहीं होगा करेक्ट
Correct. Yeah.
सो ये चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है कि हम कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ये वर्ड कैसे सीखें सो दैट्स व्हाट वी आर आल्सो गोइंग टू डू व्हेन वी लुक एट द वर्ड्स वी विल बी लुकिंग एट देम विथ अ कॉन्टेक्स्ट ओके कि हम कौन से कॉन्टेक्स्ट में इस वर्ड को यूज करेंगे सो देयर माइट बी सम वर्ड्स व्हिच माइट गेट रिपीटेड आल्सो बट दे माइट गेट रिपीटेड बिकॉज ऑफ द कॉन्टेक्स्ट दैट दे आर बीइंग यूज्ड करेक्ट एंड हम जो
Mm-hmm.
वोकैबुलरी देखेंगे हम बेसिक से लेकर एडवांस उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कैसे वर्ड यूज करेंगे ये भी हम देखेंगे सो दैट यू नो ठीक है अगर मुझे बेसिक लैंग्वेज में बात करना है तो कैसे बात करना है एडवांस लैंग्वेज में बात करना है तो कैसे बात करना है राइट कभी कभी कुछ
Okay.
वर्ड हम
Sure.
देखते हैं बट उनका हम यूजेज बहुत कम बार करते हैं या फिर आपके वर्क सिचुएशन में समझो वो वर्ड हार्डली कभी यूज होगा राइट सो दैट वर्ड इज नॉट यूजफुल फॉर यू सो उसको सीख के भी याद करके भी कुछ फायदा नहीं है ना वैसे भी हो जाता है बहुत right that is why
Mm-hmm.
we need to do guided practice that becomes really important so don't worry we'll go through everything in that one okay now today
And
we are going to start with our module number one the name of the module is where are you from our module one is very basic हम जहाँ पर हमारे बेसिक टर्म जो हम बार बार देखेंगे हमारे सेशंस में वो हम समझ लेंगे एंड उसके अलावा हमारे बेसिक सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर्स क्या रहते हैं हम ग्रामर में मिस्टेक्स क्या करते हैं वो हम देखेंगे so as you guys are at a good level, we are not going to spend a lot of time with our unit number one because unit two or module two is what is important for us. Okay, so we are going to go
Okay.
through it quickly. You guys are at a good level, so that's great for me, I would say. Okay, so in this
yeah.
first unit, we are going to see how to introduce ourselves, how to make our basic sentences using basic grammar. Okay, then as I said, we'll look at different kind of sentences that we use, and we'll see how to ask and state information and how to ask misinformation also. And again, we will see how to make our yes and no questions, which are basic phrases. अभी क्या होता है ना हमें लगता है कि ये बेसिक्स मुझे आते हैं करके बट क्या होता है ना हमने ये बेसिक्स बहुत पहले सीखे हुए रहते हैं जब हम स्कूल में रहते हैं कॉलेज में रहते हैं राइट अभी मैं अगर बोलूँ आप ना वर्ब सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट में मिस्टेक करते हो यू विल बी लाइक उसमें तो सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट क्या होता है मुझे तो वर्ब भी क्या होता है वही नहीं पता सब्जेक्ट क्या होता है वही नहीं पता राइट सो इसीलिए जो हमें चीजें आती है ना वो थोड़ा सा ब्रश अप करना इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है सो व्हेन आई एज अ टीचर रिफर टू दीज वर्ड्स you know what I'm trying to say. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the first thing. And second thing, even if we know something, it's good to make it better. So आपको जो already पता है वो आप अच्छे से समझ रहे हो okay या फिर अच्छे से आगे जा पा रहे हो उसके साथ में so that becomes really important okay
Okay.
so, first question that you guys have, you can see a picture on the screen. I want you guys to look at the picture and tell me what do you think? Where are these people? What are they doing? And how old are they? आपको guess करना है. I'm not asking for a right answer. You just have to guess. Okay? Where are
Okay.
they? Where are they basically? What are they doing? And how old are
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Uh,
as in, yeah, yeah,
they?
Prasad. Go first.
no, yes, you can.
Sarab,
Okay.
you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So in the front, so there are the two-person who are talking to each other. Okay, and the red shirted guy might be from the age range of 25 to 28.
Okay.
Okay, and in front of him, so there is a girl. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and appearance might be from Africa. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
okay. So just think about it
Nationality
because
is not important right now. Yeah.
curly hair and all.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's fine. Yeah.
and she is also talking to the person, but
Mm-hmm.
she is in listening mode right now. Okay, and
Okay.
also from the same age range, 25 to 28. Okay, and in left to her, so there's a girl,
Mm-hmm.
and she just uh, looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she is also from the same age gap, or I would say she can be. from 30 to 30 to 32. Okay.
Okay.
uh, and in left of her, so there is a stall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a person who is standing and staring at his own
Okay.
food, might be.
That's fine. We only have these three people important for us. Okay. So
Okay.
what do you think? Where are they?
So they are in a college fest.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Prasad, what do you think? Where are they? What are they
Uh,
doing? And how old are they? Tentative
uh,
guess.
yes, ma'am. Here's the people place in
Mm-hmm.
some yatra का यात्रा यात्रा क्या कहते
Fest. As we
हैं?
said, fest. Yeah. Yatra would be fest in English.
Yes. हाँ, sales. And there is some food stall sales items,
Mm-hmm.
and one person is coming from outside and they asking it's a native place people to where the people whatever they're doing. He know these people means they are finding the other people and he asking someone to where the people and how old are
Okay.
they.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to read a conversation. Okay, we are going to role play a conversation, and after reading the conversation, we'll try to understand if your guesses were correct or not. Okay, here basically we have Arturo. This guy's name is Arturo. It's guy in red shirt. Okay, red shirted guy. गलत हो जाएगा. Guy in red shirt would be the right phrase to use over here. So the guy in red shirt is Arturo. He is meeting Alexa. Her name is Alexa. He is meeting her for the first time, and that is the reason they are going to start with the basic introduction. Okay, so let's see what they are talking. Saurabh, I want you to be Alexa, and Prasad, I want you to be Arturo. You guys have to read the conversation loudly, just like a normal conversation. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
समझ में आया ना क्या करना है?
Yeah. Yeah.
हाँ. Okay. So Prasad, you can start.
Yes. Uh, Hello, I am Adro Veldans.
Valdes. Valdes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Costa, but please call me Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where are you from, Alexa?
Brazil. How about you?
Yes, I am from Mexico.
Oh, I love Mexico. It's really beautiful. Oh, good. Susan is here.
Who is Sojin?
She's my classmate. We are in the same business class.
Where is she from?
South Korea. Let's go and say hello. Sorry, what's your last again? Vargas?
Uh, no, sir. Actually, it's Veldans.
How do you
Valdes. Valdes. E, है ना? Valdes.
how do you spell that?
Uh, Veldans. VLDZ.
Oh, okay.
These are okay, very good. Okay, so the conversation is pretty easy, right, for you guys. But the most important thing becomes the way they are asking each other information, the way they are asking for repetition of information when they have forgotten. Okay, so कैसे बोलती है? Sorry, what's your last name again, Vargas? So when you forget some kind of information, that's how you ask for repetition. So that's how it becomes important to be polite. Okay, here we start with I am Arturo Valdez. My name is Alexandra Costa, but please call me Alexa. Alexa is her nickname. Okay, pet name नहीं होता है, nickname होता है वो. ठीक है. Another thing which becomes important for us over here is हम कभी भी जब खुद का introduction दे रहे हैं, phrases जो हम use करेंगे introduction देने के लिए, वो है I am. Okay, I am से हम start करेंगे. I'll say I am Susmita और my name is Susmita. हम कभी भी myself ये word से start नहीं करेंगे. Many times you must have heard, especially in India, that many people give their introduction by saying myself Susmita. Is it
Mhm.
a correct phrase? Is
No,
it a correct way to give an introduction?
no.
Sir,
No.
what do you think?
No, no.
Why do you think it's wrong or
Uh,
incorrect?
so because it shows arrogance.
Okay. So it's actually that would be partially correct, but I would say it's mostly grammatical error. Okay. The sentence myself Susmita is grammatically incorrect. हम myself ये word ना यूज करते हैं जब हमें बोलना है कि मैंने ये काम खुद से किया है. For example, I can say I have created this presentation myself. Right? मतलब मैंने ये study material खुद बनाया है, ये presentation खुद बनाया है, खुद से बनाया है. Right? तो उसके लिए I am using myself. I have made this PPT myself. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
So the
So
word
so
myself, tell me now.
yeah. So in the general language, so we use by myself. So is it correct or not?
By myself is fine. I'll go there by myself. मतलब मैं खुद से वहां जाऊंगा और check करूंगा.
So in the same context, so if I say I have like created this PPT by myself.
By की जरूरत नहीं है यहाँ पर.
Okay. But
Okay.
if I use by, then it is like, is it grammatical correct or not?
Depends on the context that you're using the word.
Like, is
जैसे
the
मैंने
same?
पहले एग्जांपल जैसे मैंने
Yeah.
पहले एग्जांपल दिया I'll go there by myself and check whether it's done or not. Right?
Okay.
तो वहां पर करेक्ट हो जाता है कि मैं खुद से वहां जाता हूँ और देखता हूँ. राइट. बट मैंने खुद से पीपीटी बनाया है, ये बोलने के लिए बाय की जरूरत नहीं है हमें सच.
Okay. Okay.
ओके.
ठीक. But if
या
we use, then both are correct.
बोथ अगर.
Okay.
ठीक है.
ठीक.
बट
Sure.
वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट हमारा अलग है जिससे इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए हम यूज करेंगे. दैट्स द मेन थिंग दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट ओवर हियर बिकॉज दैट्स a very common error that people do. Okay. So myself, it is used to reflect back to the subject कि मैंने खुद से ये किया है तो मैं खुद से. Right? I created this PPT or I made this PPT myself ऐसे करके. ये पहला हमारा important हो जाता है. अभी second होता है हमारा important grammatical topic is uh, first person, second person, third person. Okay. अभी यहाँ पर in the first part of the conversation, we can see that Arturo and Alexa are talking to each other about each other. Correct?
Mhm.
But in the second part of the conversation, they are talking to each other but about Susan. Okay? Yes,
Third
Susan.
person.
They are not third person. Exactly. That's what we are coming to. So they are not talking about each other. So यहाँ पर हमारा फर्स्ट पर्सन, सेकंड पर्सन, थर्ड पर्सन जो हम बार बार रिपोर्ट करेंगे वो इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाता है. फर्स्ट पर्सन इज द स्पीकर. Okay. So right now, say I am speaking. So I am the first person.
Mhm.
And let me just show you guys quickly. Right now, as I am speaking, I will be the speaker. Okay, speaker is the first person. So in singular, I will use the word I. In plural, I will use the word we. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Singular plural, I am sure you guys know. Singular मतलब एक जन की बात जब हम करते हैं, plural मतलब अनेक लोगों की बात जब करते हैं. Okay,
Yes.
many
Yes.
things basically. Now, second person is the listener. Now, you guys are listening to me, so you are the listener. Okay, the word that I will use is you. Singular हो, plural हो, दोनों में you ही use होगा. अभी बहुत लोग plural में you all use करते हैं. You all is fine if you use it, but it is little bit informal. It is not formal language.
And you people?
You people is also informal. वो you ही रहेगा.
Okay.
Okay, थोड़ा सा informal हो जाता है. Indianized में चल जाता है. So again, the rules that I am usually explaining to you guys, I am talking about global audience. I'm talking about the language which is acceptable when you're discussing or talking to foreign clients. Okay. But आप Indianized जब English देखोगे, you people, you all चल जाता है.
Mhm.
Okay. It's not
Understood.
mistake as such, but it is informal as I said. ठीक है. When I say you people don't understand what I'm saying, तो वो थोड़ा सा rude sound करता है. Okay.
Mhm.
But instead, when I say you have to understand what I'm saying, it sounds polite. Right? That's the basic difference over here. फिर आता है हमारा third person. Now, third person is the person that we are talking about. Now, many times the person can be involved in the conversation, but sometimes that person may not be involved in the conversation. Okay? So, in singular, we will use the words he, she, it or name of that singular person. तो either हम उस person का नाम use करेंगे और हमारे pronouns यूज करेंगे he, she, it. Okay. In plural, we will use they. That's the pronoun that we will use. और we will use names of two or more people. ठीक है. अभी हमारे लिए ग्रामर में सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर. Okay. When we start looking at tenses, you will see the major mistakes that we make are in third person singular. Okay. जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं I eat, you eat, she eats होता है, but हम she eat बोल देते हैं. I manage, you manage, she manages. But instead we say she manage. Okay, this was a mistake which my 7 p.m. batch did just now. So that is the best example that I could give you. Okay,
Okay.
that's a common mistake that people do कि S हम skip कर देते हैं. For example, like आगे आगे हम और भी चीजें देखेंगे. ठीक है? So for us, third person singular becomes important. In general, third person also becomes very important. Okay. Now, first person, second person, as we are conversing, it will keep changing. When I am speaking, I am the first person, but as soon as you or Prasad start speaking, I become the second person. Okay. So this role keeps changing. So don't get confused with it. Okay. When you are listening to someone or when you're talking to each other, don't get confused with the wordings over here. That is the reason I said ये तो easy होता है, third person ही थोड़ा सा हमारे लिए important and difficult भी होता है. ठीक है. Now, ये तो मैंने बता दिया, ये मेन चीज थी हमारे लिए. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to listen to the same conversation that we just saw or we just read, I could say. Okay, we are going to listen to it. Now, when we are going to listen to it, you have the script in front of you, so it's easy. But when we are listening, it will not be in Indian accent, it will be in various accents. Okay, अभी का तो हमारा particular accent में होगा, but in future we will have it in various accents. ठीक है. So as you are listening, you get familiar with different types of accents also, which we are going to practice in future as well. Okay. So I'll
Sure.
play the
Okay.
conversation. Pay attention.
Unit 1. Where are you from? Page 2. Exercise 1. Conversation. Please call me Alexa. Listen and practice.
Hello, I'm Arturo Valdez.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Costa, but please call me Alexa.
Okay. Where are you from, Alexa?
Brazil. How about you?
I'm from Mexico.
Oh, I love Mexico. It's really beautiful. Oh, good. Sujin is here.
Who's Sujin?
She's my classmate. We're in the same business class.
Where's she from?
South Korea. Let's go and say hello. Sorry, what's your last name again? Vargas?
Actually, it's Valdez.
How do you spell that?
Valdez.
Okay. Now when he says that, he says VEZ. Why do you think he says Z instead of Z?
Because in the common practice, so it is mainly used as a Z in other languages, like more common in like America and UK.
Okay. Prasad, what do you think? Why does he say Z instead of Z?
No, I
No
can't
idea.
say any.
Okay,
And
you can
and
just say I don't
and
know.
of course, so this can be also a reason that they are using phonetic rather than that actual name of it.
Okay, so you guys might know that when we talk about English, we think English is just a language, but English is very complicated. We'll come to that part later. But when we talk about English, there are types of English as well. Correct? So we have US English and UK English. Okay, so you were partially correct for it. We have US English and UK English. Okay, and then we have Indian English, which is supposed to be very funny English. Okay, yeah. So US English is what we follow in most of the MNCs nowadays. Okay. But UK English is what we follow in India when we follow a curriculum in schools and colleges. Okay. So in UK English or British English, we have it as Z. ठीक है. सो हमने जो स्कूल में पढ़ा है वो हमेशा ABCD Z भी पढ़ा है, राइट?
Mhm.
बट
So
nowadays
it's
that's in UK English or British English, we can say. Okay, but
okay.
nowadays, if you have anyone who studies in ICSE school, you will see that they refer to it as Z. Okay, so that's your US English,
Because they
American
want to
English.
sound more fancy.
Not really, but that's how American English is. Now, when we talk about,
No,
mm-hmm,
uh,
tell me,
because
tell me.
sometimes uh, like like it's more common nowadays that uh, if someone is talking and he or she suddenly made a mistake in English, so they are saying that I'm talking in US English, you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you hear most of the times. Colleagues होता है कि colleagues होता है, right? इसमें बहुत बड़ा debate चलता है. Schedule है कि schedule है, right? So these
and
are the common mistakes, like common differences that you will see. Yeah.
and and for it also, like is it schedule or schedule or what? So I have heard and another phonetic of it,
Mm-hmm.
schedule,
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah, you will observe many things. So D का बहुत बार pronunciation जो का भी होता है, जैसे कि education भी नहीं होता, वो education होता है, right?
I,
So yes, you will come across many such kind of people who use different kind of pronunciations. Okay, so that's why I usually say whenever you have a confusion with the pronunciations, just go to Google, Baba. You'll find your solution over there. Okay, of course, nowadays you have ChatGPT, but still, I feel Google is much better. When you type any word on Google and you type the word meaning after that, you usually have a Google dictionary which pops up, right? When you have that Google dictionary in front of you, there is a small speaker that you will see on the left hand side. When you click on that speaker, now you get the exact pronunciation of that word. Okay. When you click on pronunciation, after that, I'll show you at the end also. Okay. After that, you have the option of changing the pronunciations also over there according to the accent. So you have American accent, British accent, and Indian accent as well, and I guess Australian accent as well. Australian English भी होता है. ठीक है, but it's not widely followed everywhere. ठीक है, तो आप अपने हिसाब से
so they are
सॉरी
you.
यूर ऑन. ओके,
It's
यू
often.
ट्राइंग टू स्पीक. या इट्स ऑफन. ऑफ्टन नहीं होता है एज सच, बट या मैनी पीपल यूज इट. सो इंग्लिश का फनी पार्ट ऐसा है ना, if many people are making that mistake over a period of time, it becomes correct English or it becomes acceptable English with us.
Mhm.
ठीक है, तो इंग्लिश का
Okay.
फनी पार्ट वैसा भी है. सो दैट इज द रीजन द वर्ड ऑफ्टन इज काइंड ऑफ एक्सेप्टेबल. जैसे आपने बोला ना यू पीपल, वो भी काइंड ऑफ एक्सेप्टेबल है उसमें से. ठीक है.
Mhm.
So that's the funny part about English. That's the reason I said English is very complicated when we get into grammar part. ठीक है, तो वो एक हो गया अमेरिकन इंग्लिश ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश का डिफरेंस. When you observe American English and British English, you will also see that many times spellings also change. For example, when we spellings भी हमारे change होते हैं many
Okay.
times. Many times you will see
Mhm.
that people, just 1 minute guys, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, I'm at my hometown, as I said. So many times you will see that word color can be spelled as Color, right? But many times you'll also come across the spelling Color, right? So again, that's the
Yeah.
difference
Yes,
between
yes.
American English and British English. Color जो हमने स्कूल में पढ़ा था वो है British English. ठीक है,
Mhm.
Color is American English. Okay,
Okay.
then behavior word भी है जो ये पैटर्न सेम फॉलो करता है, OR and OUR वाला. उसके अलावा यू विल आल्सो कम अक्रॉस वर्ड्स व्हिच आर डिफरेंट इन अमेरिकन इंग्लिश एंड ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश. फॉर एग्जांपल, वी से लिफ्ट एंड वी आल्सो से एलिवेटर, राइट? So the word elevator is American English, the word lift is British English. Okay, most of the words that we follow जो हमने स्कूल में यूजुअली सुना होता है ना, वो ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश से रेफर करते हैं. ठीक है,
Mhm. Like pant and trouser.
पैंट्स एंड ट्राउजर्स, या काइंड ऑफ. ओके, बहुत जगह
And
पे स्लैक्स भी बोलते हैं उसको.
okay, okay. So I have one
हम्म.
question. So there is a different spelling for personalize and personalize. Okay, with S and Z.
एग्जैक्टली, सो वही डिफरेंस हो जाता है हमारा. ओके,
So,
ई आर एंड आर ई, जैसे कि सेंटर अगर हम रेफर कर रहे हैं तो बहुत जगह पे ई आर यूज होता है, आर ई यूज होता है. सो दैट्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अमेरिकन इंग्लिश एंड ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश. सो व्हाट आई
okay,
यूजुअली आस्क माय स्टूडेंट्स इज, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कंपनी दैट यू आर वर्किंग इन, follow that pattern. Okay, follow that English. Now, many MNCs that we work in are from, say, US, right? So over there, you'll follow US English. Okay, if you're confused with your spellings, if you're confused with your accent, आपके लैपटॉप में ना एक सेटिंग होता है. आप अगर लैंग्वेजेस में जाओगे, लैपटॉप के सेटिंग्स में जाओगे, लैंग्वेजेस में जाओगे, वहां पर यू कैन सेट अप यूएस इंग्लिश एंड ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश. ठीक है, वो आप सेटिंग करके रख दोगे ना, तो अब जो आपको स्पेलिंग करेक्शंस आते हैं ना, वो जो रेड लाइन आती है ना नीचे वर्ड के नीचे, जब भी आप टाइप करते हो, वो उस हिसाब से आती है. Okay, when say if you are using ChatGPT to type something, ask ChatGPT to follow US English or UK English, depending on the company that you're working. Most
okay.
of the European countries will use UK English.
So in my settings, so it is asking for reason. So by
Reason,
default, so
region,
uh, re-
okay, region.
yeah, region.
Huh.
Okay. So I have like problem in S, like how to pronounce it. Okay. And
It's fine.
so by default, so it is selected India,
Mm-hmm.
but India is using the British English.
India uses British English, yes.
Yeah.
ओके, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. बट जैसे मैंने बताया, कुछ कुछ स्पेलिंग्स नहीं चेंज होते, वर्ड्स नहीं चेंज होते हमारे, बट ग्रामर थोड़ा सा चेंज होता है. इंडियन ग्रामर थोड़ा सा फनी है, काइंड ऑफ, हम बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है,
Okay.
बट
Okay.
लैंग्वेजेस
So
करके
if
ऑप्शन रहता
you
है
select,
वहां पर लैपटॉप में हमारे, तो वहां पर आप सिलेक्ट, मैं एंड में दिखाती हूँ आपको, मुझे भी एग्जैक्ट स्टेप्स नहीं पता है उसके कहाँ पर सेट करते हैं. बट लैंग्वेजेस में अगर आप जाते हो ना, तो वहां पर आपको यूएस इंग्लिश सेट करने का या फिर ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश सेट करने का ऑप्शन रहता है. ठीक है, I'll show you the steps at the end if possible. ठीक है,
it has given me a use list of countries for America. कि कौन सा
कंट्रीज फॉर
कंट्री सिलेक्ट
अमेरिकन,
करना है.
स्टेट फॉर कंट्रीज होगा ना, स्टेट फॉर यूएस होगा ना. आप आपका
Like
रीजन मत चेंज करो. ओके, लैंग्वेज का हमें चेंज करना है. मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ एंड में, रुको, आप लोग कुछ मत करो.
ठीक है, लैंग्वेज चेंज
ठीक है,
करना है.
हाँ, लैंग्वेज हमें चेंज करना है.
ठीक है.
Understood? Yeah.
Mhm.
These are few things. Yeah. And then when we come to you, our Indian English, which is supposed to be very funny, where we use repetition of words. Where are you going, morning, morning? Right? So ऐसे जो हमारे phrases होते हैं वो हम इंडिया में use करते हैं, which is again a bit,
पीछे का बैकग्राउंड,
sorry,
जस्ट लाइक पीछे का बैकग्राउंड.
पीछे का background, exactly. So that's our funny
It is
English or
okay.
Indian English. Okay. I
Yeah,
usually
just
ask
taking,
students, sorry.
we are just taking revenge from Britain now. That's why. That's why
Yeah, we can.
we are making it funny.
We can say that. Yeah. Okay. So वो थोड़ा सा हमारा funny English होता है. I usually ask my students like you guys to follow the English according to the region that you're working in. If you're working for Indian companies, just follow Indian English. That's more than enough. ठीक है. अगर आप चैट जीपीटी को प्रॉम्प्ट दे रहे हो, चैट जीपीटी को भी वही प्रॉम्प्ट दो कि ये चीज को फॉलो करे, यूएस इंग्लिश और यूके इंग्लिश, डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर प्रेफरेंस. ओके, ये दो तीन चीजें हमारे लिए
Okay.
इंपॉर्टेंट हो गई. नाउ coming to the next part, here we have checking information, but what we are going to do is I want you guys to give me your proper introduction over here. Okay, so Prasad, you will start first. You will give me a proper introduction, in depth जितना दे सकते हो. Of course, introduction कैसे देना है उस पर भी हम work करेंगे, because interview में हमारा वो part important हो जाता है, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Prasad, you can start.
Yes, I can show. Yes, ma'am. First, thank for introducing myself.
Mm-hmm.
I am from Prasad. I am from Dharashu and just living in Pune from last 4 years. I am working in a Cyrus Industrial Solution Private Limited as a PPC engineer. Talking about my experience, I have working. I was working in a Hyundai Construction Equipment as a production engineer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
their work was 2.5 years, and they released this company and let's join Cyrus Industrial Solution as a private limited as a PPC engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Talking about my family background, in my family, I have father, mother. My father is working professional as a farmer. I have also one brother. He's also working professional. As working in a planning engineer at a Shapoorji Pallonji as a construction company. And mother is housewife. Uh, yes, yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, great. Saurabh, your turn.
Okay, so I am Saurabh Sarsar. Okay, so I'm hailing from Bikaner, Rajasthan, and right now I'm in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. And I do have the experience of more than 8 years in the industry as a UI UX designer and the product designer. And right now, my company is Crosslinks US LLC. And in my education background, so I have done BTech and computer science and engineering, and then I have pursued advanced certifications course in innovation experience design from MIT Institute of Design, Pune. And right now, I'm also pursuing MBA Tech, so it's MBA plus MTech from IIT Jodhpur in digital product design and
Wow.
management. Yeah, and with that, so I do have the experience in the UI UX design and the product design. So where my roles and responsibilities are certain, like I mean gathering the stakeholder workshops and doing the usability workshops with the real users and conducting the requirement gathering workshop with the stakeholders, whether it is internal stakeholders or the external stakeholders. Okay, and building up the information architecture, doing the wireframing and delivering the high fidelity UI designs. And right now we are also using the cloud and other vibing tool as well, where we do the vibe coding with the AI, and we make sure that it is a qualitative code, and then we deliver it to the front-end developers or the back-end developers to integrate the APIs with them. Okay, so if I talk about my weakness and the strengths, then of course, one weakness is like I'm very much overthinking. Okay, and I overthink about my designs. So how it is a weakness for me. So it makes the work delay sometimes. Okay, and if I talk about my strength, then it also overthinking. So overthinking helps me to improve my design always, and it helps me to make it pixel perfect. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, great. I hope that was not Chat GPT wala introduction, Saurabh.
No, that was not.
No, no, because it was close to perfect. That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
अच्छा ऐसे हुआ.
इसीलिए
It was
मैंने पूछा.
yes, ma'am. It was very good. I want also this introduction, ma'am.
अच्छा
Exactly.
वाह
It was very
यार.
good.
Yeah,
तो
it
अभी
was
मेरा
a
सिलेक्शन क्यों नहीं हो रहा है?
बिकॉज वही ना बहुत ज्यादा परफेक्ट लग रहा है ना आपका इंट्रोडक्शन तो फिर ऐसे लगता है
तो
कि आपने रट्टा मार के आए हो करेक्ट
वो तो फिर every corporate guy is that like only.
एग्जैक्टली दैट्स व्हाट पीपल डोंट वांट नाउअडेज राइट that's the thing so
हाँ,
how can you stand out and how can you be different that's what makes it important now I will try to be as brief as possible and give my introduction as you guys know I'm Susmita Patil formerly Susmita Yadav um, if I talk about like my experience I have overall 9+ years of work experience now. I started taking classes during 2020, that is during COVID, when many people or many friends around me were facing a lot of issue with their jobs, facing issues with their interviews. That's when my friends reached out to me and told me that, okay, Susmita, your English is very good. Why don't you help us with our English? Because yours is good and you already have a job. So, and you have a lot of time, a lot of free time also. Because if you remember, Saurabh, we used to get free around 5 from MIT, right? 4:30
yeah,
actually. I used to be home by 5. So I had a lot of free time in the evening as well. That's when my friends reached out to me and said, help us out with English. They used to just come during tea time in the evening and sit with me and they used to be like, just talk to me in English. But the thing is, of course, when you talk to someone, you come up with grammar topics, and then when you correct them, they don't understand. So that's when I started getting into the lesson plans and understanding what are the mistakes that they are making. And when I started helping them, when they started clearing the interviews, I started enjoying that process. When you see someone becoming successful, it makes a difference in your life, right? It makes a difference of in your confidence. That's when I thought I can start doing it commercially. Okay, that's when after my office hours, I started taking classes and I started enjoying over a period of time. Everyone in MIT also came to know that I am taking training on my own. That's when they said that, okay, why don't you start teaching in MIT itself? Okay, so that's when I got opportunity in MIT as well to train for soft skills, train for event management and marketing as well. Marketing was something that I was doing at my core during that period of time, if you remember, sort of, right? So over there, I started enjoying as well, but I was working there for 3.5 years. Things were getting a bit stagnant. So that's when I decided to venture out and explore something on my own. So that's when in 2023, 22, and I started my offline institute. I was already training for 3 years at that time in online mode because things were online at that time, but there was a huge demand for offline institute because things were settling down, COVID was getting better. So that's when I started my offline institute in Pune, in Aminara Park Town. Uh, over a period of time, I also got an opportunity to work with Hewlett Packard Enterprise (HPE), where I took up a 1 year project with them, where I was a soft skill trainer. I was helping them out with hiring. I was helping them with the candidates or employees who were there with their soft skills and with new hire trainings and with campus hiring. I was doing a lot of things over there. It was a 1 year project, but it got extended into 1 year, 3 months. But after that, of course, I would focus solely on my institute, where I help working professionals like you to improve their English and achieve their goals, I would say. Along with English, I'm also training for IELTS, TOEFL, and all the other English proficiency tests. When I was working in MIT ADT University, I also got an opportunity to become a Cambridge Certified Speaking Examiner. As you guys might know, when we talk about English, there are a lot of English proficiency tests as well, right? Especially when you want to go to a foreign country, and there are a lot of tests which you can give to show your English proficiency. So one of few of the exams are CAT and PET, which I am a certified speaking examiner for. They are similar to how IELTS works, but it's not IELTS. Okay, it's a different examination. So along with that, when I was working in MIT, I also took my admission in MBA. I did my MBA in ITSM. After that, I did my master's in TESOL as well, master's in teaching English to the speakers of other language. Recently, I also finished my MA in English because I want to go for PhD in future. So that's something that I did. And of course, I'm also a TOEFL certified trainer. I am Posh certified trainer. I also train for Posh. I also do still like I do a lot of freelancing projects where I help recruitment companies to get good employees or good candidates, which they are going to forward to the companies that they are working with. So I help them in filtering out. Yes. So that's something I still do, but of course I can't disclose the names of the companies because of confidentiality. So that's a bit about me. I am from Pune, born and brought up in Pune. Now my hometown is Jalgaon, as I told you guys at the start. So that's a bit about me. Of course, if you guys have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can go through my LinkedIn profile and my Instagram profile. My Instagram profile is not really built. My LinkedIn is up to date, I would say, as much as possible. I'm not very active over there, but I try to keep it up to date. Okay, so that's a
So
bit
Shraddha,
about me. Sorry, sir, what are you saying?
I have two questions.
Please tell me.
Okay. Okay. So my first question is like you have done your MBA so from ITBM.
ITSM, like it was in IT. I have done it from NMIMS.
Okay. 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 IT and from IMS. Okay. We got it. Got it. Okay.
IT and
And
security
second question is
management.
that is security management. Okay. ITSM. Okay. Got it. And my second question is uh, you were also associated with the company and where you were helping the company with the hiring processes and
Correct.
TA process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Correct.
like what was the company's name?
I can't disclose that. I just told you because of confidentiality. I can't disclose that. Maybe we can talk about it later. Yeah. Okay. Like I
Okay,
don't
okay,
work
got
with
it.
one company. It's like these projects keep coming up. So there are different companies that, reach out to me depending on the requirement. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Then along with that, so I have one request.
Sure, tell me.
you you got it. Like if you have any kind
Yeah,
of reference, then please help
of
me out.
course.
Like
Of
for the
course, of
US
course.
design of the product design.
Of course, वो तो पूछने की बात ही नहीं हुई. Of course. But the thing is,
If
the
you want,
only
then I
thing
can
is,
recommend.
yeah, the profile that yours is a bit different. I work with companies who are looking for IT professionals. So, but still, you can, like, we can discuss about it. Don't worry. You can send me your resume.
civil design and product design come in IT only.
Okay, then send me a
ऐसा
resume.
नहीं,
We'll
हमारा
talk about
कॉन्टेक्ट नहीं है। ये मुझे बुरा लगा।
नहीं नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता उतना इन डेप्थ, राइट? इसीलिए my domain is very very different. Though I have done my ATSM, but I am not in that domain. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Now, if
I
you
know
see,
कि NMS वाले कैसे पढ़ाते हैं।
yes. Okay. Now, if you see the difference between Saurabh's introduction and my introduction, both were good. Of course, मैं थोड़ा hesitate किया because there is a lot of disturbance. Sorry for that. But if you see the introduction, both are good at the level, but there's a difference. Okay, when we look at Saurabh's introduction, it looks like a bookish introduction, right? जैसे अभी आजकल सभी लोग देते हैं। अगर आप किसी को भी जो भी इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा है, जॉब के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा है, जॉब इंटरव्यूज के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा है, जो भी इंट्रोडक्शन हम देने बोलेंगे वो ऐसे ही इंट्रोडक्शन देगा जैसे सौरभ ने दिया। माय नेम इज, आई हेल फ्रॉम द कंपनी दैट आई एम वर्किंग, दीज आर द प्रोजेक्ट्स दैट आई एम वर्किंग ऑन। ये पहले हम भी यही फॉलो करते थे लिटिल टाइम बैक। ओके, दीज आर माय वीकनेसेस, दीज आर माय स्ट्रेंथ्स, करेक्ट। बट अभी हो ऐसे गया है कि सब लोग वही इंट्रोडक्शन फॉर्मेट फॉलो कर रहे हैं। अगर हम भी वैसे ही इंट्रोडक्शन देंगे तो हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू स्टैंड आउट? दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग। सेकंड थिंग, if there is a recruiter like me who listens to 25 candidates per day, this introduction is going to sound very monotonous, right? सेम चीज में वापस 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 सुन रही हूँ, क्या अलग है? कुछ भी अलग नहीं है। इसीलिए मेनी टाइम्स यू विल सी, आप इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहे हो फिर भी सामने वाले ने या फिर इंटरव्यूअर ने वो बात सुनी ही नहीं होगी और वो पूछेगा, ओके सो यू आर वर्किंग इन डैश डैश कंपनी, राइट? और व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी दैट यू टोल्ड? व्हाट यू टोल्ड भी नहीं बोलेगा, व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी ऐसे करके पूछेगा, राइट? दैट इज द वेरी रीजन बिकॉज they don't pay attention when you're giving these kind of introductions. Just 1 minute.
It happens with me.
Exactly. मेरे साथ में भी होता है। It is very very common. वो इसीलिए होता है because it's a very monotonous introduction that we are giving. So how can you stand out? What I usually ask my students is change your introduction into a storytelling format. The way I told you guys a story, right? कि मैंने क्यों इंस्टीट्यूट स्टार्ट किया, मैंने क्यों टीच करना स्टार्ट किया। ऑफ कोर्स जो पूरी स्टोरी है वो बहुत बड़ी है। जब मैंने पूरा बताया था वो इंट्रोडक्शन मेरा 20 मिनट चला था, इसके लिए मैंने उसको थोड़ा सा कट शॉर्ट किया अभी, to just give you guys a glimpse of it. Okay, but if you
Okay.
want to stand out, what you can do is change it into a storytelling format. अभी वो कैसे करना है वो मैं बताऊंगी, but what I want you guys to do is explore a bit. Okay, take a point in your life which you feel was a turning point for you. Okay, and उसको लेके उसके आजू बाजू चीजें आपकी रिवॉल्व करो। ओके, उसके आजू बाजू आपका इंट्रोडक्शन दो कि आपने उसके बाद में फिर एजुकेशन उसके पहले किया बाद में किया। यूज प्रॉपर वर्ड्स आल्सो एंड गिव दैट इंट्रोडक्शन। ओके, अभी ऑफ कोर्स इजी नहीं है, सो आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू अ डे टू प्रिपेयर ऑन इट। ठीक है, बट उसके पहले व्हाट यू विल डू इज यू विल ट्राई टू गो एंड एक्सप्लोर यूट्यूब अ बिट। एक दो वीडियोस देखो जो स्टोरी टेलिंग फॉर्मेट, हाउ टू स्टैंड आउट इन स्टोरी टेलिंग। स्टोरी टेलिंग लिखने वाला नहीं बोल रही हूँ मैं, नॉट एज अ राइटर, एज अ स्पीकर। ओके, try to find some videos. There are some videos. Try to find them and give it a watch. Try to understand कि अगर आप स्टोरी टेलिंग फॉर्मेट इंट्रोडक्शन में कैसे यूज करना है उसके भी वीडियोस आपको मिल जाएंगे। बट आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू स्पून फीड एवरीथिंग। ठीक है, आई वांट यू गाइस टू डू दैट रिसर्च, go through those videos and see how you can improve. खुद से करो, चैट जीपीटी की हेल्प मत लो। ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स होंगे, दैट्स फाइन, वहीं पे मैं हेल्प करूंगी आपको। ठीक है, आई जस्ट वांट यू
ठीक है,
गाइस टू
ठीक है।
फॉर्मेट, उसको हम बेटर कैसे करना है वो हम साथ में देखेंगे। या
ठीक
सो
है।
दैट्स
So
योर
there is
टास्क फॉर द
star
डे।
format and reverse star format.
सॉरी,
There is a like star format, no? Like star method, and there is a reverse star method to introduce.
या डिपेंड्स, आपको कैसे यूज करना है वो आप यूज करो ना, मतलब आप डिसाइड करो आपके लिए कौन सा वर्क करता है. ओके, व्हाट द वे आई यूजुअली से इज टेक वन पॉइंट एंड उसके अराउंड चीजें रिवॉल्व करो. ठीक है, अभी मैंने जैसे
ठीक
लिया
है.
कि ओके आई स्टार्टेड हेल्पिंग माय स्टूडेंट्स और हेल्पिंग माय फ्रेंड्स बेसिकली, and then when I started doing it I started enjoying it, then I started taking classes commercially, so that's a turning point for me, right? So take up any one point in your life which you feel is good. थोड़ा सा एडल्ट लाइफ नहीं लेना पड़ेगा, यू कैन गो बैक टू चाइल्डहुड एंड टेक एनी पॉइंट. थोड़ा सा एडल्ट लाइफ का, वर्किंग हो, वर्क पे हो या फिर कॉलेज में हो, चलेगा. ठीक है, तो टेक अप वन पॉइंट एंड रिवॉल्व थिंग्स अराउंड इट. ट्राई करो,
ठीक
हम
है.
इसको बेटर करेंगे. ऑफ कोर्स आपको उस पर ब्रेनस्टॉर्म करना पड़ेगा. ओके ऐसे डायरेक्ट आपको कुछ याद नहीं आएगा. टेक अप सम टाइम,
हाँ हाँ.
टेक आउट सम फ्री टाइम. एंड अभी देखो, टेक आउट सम फ्री टाइम बोलते हैं ना हम, यहाँ पर बहुत लोग रिमूव टाइम बोलते हैं, तो वो गलत हो जाता है. टेक आउट टाइम एंड वर्क ऑन इट. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा शांति से बैठो एंड उस पर सोचो एंड वर्क करो. इट्स नॉट easy but try it. That's how you will stand out.
Okay.
ठीक है, for
Definitely,
today
definitely, for
we
sure.
are going to stop over here. आज हम लोग
मैम
का
एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ मैडम.
बोलो ना.
जब हम सेल्फ इंट्रोडक्शन देते हैं इंटरव्यू
हम्म
में, वो
हम्म
कितनी देर तक चलना चाहिए, मतलब
अभी देखो
उसका
यूजुअली
टाइमिंग
ना,
कितना है, तो 10-15
यूजुअली
10 मिनट 15 मिनट?
नहीं बहुत ज्यादा हो गया. जब आप इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहे हो, यूजुअली अगर इंटरव्यूअर्स बहुत सारे इंटरव्यूज दे रहा है, वो आपको मैक्सिमम 2 मिनट्स देगा, उससे ज्यादा 3 मिनट्स देगा.
हम्म.
इसके आगे आपको वो टाइम देगा नहीं. इसके आगे आपका,
ओके.
अगर आपका इंट्रोडक्शन चला, ही विल कट इट ऑफ. ओके, बीच में आपको काटेगा एंड वो अपने क्वेश्चंस पूछना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा.
यस.
बिकॉज व्हेन वी टेक
यस.
इंटरव्यूज, व्हेन वी हैव बैक टू बैक
नहीं,
इंटरव्यूज, वी
वो
ऑल्सो
पहले
हैव अ
बोल.
टाइम. हाँ रुको ना, we also have a time allotted
यस.
to each candidate. That's how we schedule our interviews. Correct. Now, when you are giving your introduction, keep it to
यस.
two
यस. यस.
to 3 minutes max. ठीक है, बिकॉज मैक्सिमम चीजें वो आपको फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन में पूछेगा
ओके.
इंटरव्यू में. ओके, बट इफ योर इंट्रोडक्शन इज गुड,
ओके. ओके.
देन 20 मिनट भी इंटरव्यू, सॉरी, आपका इंट्रोडक्शन चला ना, कोई आपको रोकेगा नहीं. ओके, बट दैट्स वेयर इट
ओके.
नीड्स टू बी रियली रियली गुड.
फर्स्ट
बट
टेलिंग अबाउट.
बोलो
यस, वो
ऐसा.
पहले से पूछता है कि अगर इंटरव्यू स्टार्ट किया है तो पहले पूछता है कि पहले आप एजुकेशन बताओ, फिर एक्सपीरियंस बताओ, फिर
हाँ
फैमिली बैकग्राउंड बताओ, और फिर तुम्हारा
एग्जैक्टली.
कंपनी का बताओ. तो उस उससे चलना है क्या, हमारा हमको जो हमने किया है प्रैक्टिस उस पे चलना है,
नहीं,
ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ.
डिपेंड करेगा ना, जैसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा वैसे ही आप आंसर करोगे ना. अगर वो काइंड ऑफ डायलॉग रख रहा है तो इट्स इजियर फॉर यू, यू जस्ट आंसर इट इन डायलॉग्स. बट इफ ही स्टार्ट्स ऑफ बाय सेइंग टेल मी समथिंग
यस.
अबाउट यू और टेल मी अबाउट, लाइक गिव योर इंट्रोडक्शन, तो प्रॉपर इंट्रोडक्शन आप करोगे, राइट. बट स्टिल वो
यस.
3-4 मिनट से ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए यूजुअली, क्योंकि हमारी प्रोफाइल भी उतनी बड़ी होनी चाहिए ना.
ओके.
हाँ, हमारे पास अगर 20-25 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, वहां पर हम 20-25 मिनट का इंट्रोडक्शन दे सकते हैं. बट वी आर स्टिल यंग,
यस. यस.
राइट, वी कैंट गिव वेरी लॉन्ग इंट्रोडक्शंस नाउ. करेक्ट. तो इसीलिए, हाँ, अगर आप पर्टिकुलर जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हो, वहां के जॉब के लिए आपको पता है कि ओके, आप अगर ये चीजें हाईलाइट करके बोलोगे आपके इंट्रोडक्शन में, जैसे कि सौरभ ने बताया कि ओके आई वर्क ऑन दिस प्रोजेक्ट, आई वर्क ऑन दैट प्रोजेक्ट, तो आपका वो फिर दैट इज द पार्ट यू नीड टू ट्वीक अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रोफाइल दैट यू अप्लाई, राइट. तो वो थोड़ा सा ऑन द स्पॉट भी आपको आना
यस.
चाहिए. दैट इज वेयर जेडी बिकम्स इम्पोर्टेंट, दैट इज वेयर कंपनी रिसर्च बिकम्स इम्पोर्टेंट. करेक्ट. अगर आपको कंपनी के
यस.
बारे में ही कुछ पता नहीं है, अगर आपको जेडी ही नहीं पता है कि व्हाट द कंपनी इज एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम यू, then you will not be able to tweak. You'll just give your usual introduction, and the interviewer will think that you're not good for that profile, which is what is
यस.
happening in the
यस.
market nowadays. Okay, because the interviewers don't listen what you're trying to say and what your profile is. They don't go through the resume. They just listen to whatever parts that they want to pay attention to, and they feel the candidate is not right for the profile that they have shared. Correct. That is the reason standing out becomes important. Highlighting your strengths according to the job that you're applying becomes important.